Hi, this is Craig Garenti from Palisade Compliance, and today I want to talk to you about 10 best practices to help you certify your ULA. Now, before I do, I just want to give you a little bit of background. At Palisade Compliance, we've helped hundreds of customers certify out of their ULAs, and this is a collection of things that we've learned along the way, and we hope that it helps you. We've got other videos on what to do the last year of your ULA and how to manage your ULA. If you're going through the certification process, we highly recommend you watch those videos as well. Okay, here's our list. Number 1, remember, Oracle is not there to help you certify your ULA. During the last year of your ULA, Oracle will offer free assistance, basically from their audit teams and their sales teams. While your goal might be to certify, Oracle's goal is to get you to renew, to give Oracle more money, and to lock you into Oracle technology and Oracle Cloud. Just keep that in mind every time you talk to Oracle. Number 2, keep an open mind with Oracle. While you think you want to certify now, as we go through these best practices, you may come to the conclusion that certification is not the best path for you. So you want to be negotiating with Oracle as you're going through the certification process on your own, so that at the end of your ULA, if you can't certify, you have the best option to not certifying, either a renewal or a different kind of deal with Oracle. So keep an open mind. Number 3, start early. We recommend you start your certification process as soon as you sign your ULA, but the reality is no one really does that. So start where you are today. If your ULA ends in a year, start this process today. If it ends in 6 months, start this process today. As a matter of fact, we've had customers whose ULAs have certified on May 31st, and they come to us in June and say, hey, my ULA just certified, can you help me? And obviously we can help them, but we think the more time you have to do this work on your own, the better. So start today. Number 4, read the certification language in your contract very carefully. Understand when you have to certify, what information you have to give to Oracle, whether or not Oracle can validate your certification, and also what your cloud usage rights. The contractual language in your certification clause is critical. Make sure you understand that. Number 5, conduct your technology audit. So whatever products are on your ULA, do a count now. How many are you using? And then try to optimize that count for the rest of the ULA. What I mean by that is expand it as much as possible. If you're using 100 today, see if you can certify to 200 or beyond. At the same time, make sure there's no non-compliance. If you're using products that are not on the ULA, minimize the usage, turn them off. Or go to Oracle and buy some of those products, not as part of your certification if you can help it. We always want you in compliance, whether you're in or out of a ULA. Number 6, conduct a business audit. Most people forget about this one. What do I mean by a business audit? I mean, look at your customer definition. It's pretty restrictive and has a list of subsidiaries. Is that still your reality? Is that how you define yourself? Have you done mergers and acquisitions and divestitures? Will you do them in the future? Really make sure that you are in alignment with that definition. Also look at any cloud usage that you've done, territory, how you use the software. An Oracle Unlimited license agreement doesn't mean you can use Oracle for anything. It's got to be for your internal business operations or some external business operations. And make sure you're in compliance with all of that. Number 7, now this is critical. I talked earlier about continuing the dialogue with Oracle about a ULA renewal. So when you get to this point, usually towards the end of your ULA, you're going to have a really good idea of your certification number. Now you want to compare that to, well, what's the offer from Oracle to not certify? And now you've got 2 very good options, right? If you're doing this properly, you've got a very good certification, you've been negotiating your ULA, you get to the end, you make a comparison, and in this case, let's say you choose to certify. Number 8, you've decided to certify. Make sure you certify correctly, certify on time, and provide Oracle only the information that is specifically detailed in your contract. If it says you have to certify, how many licenses are used on premise versus the cloud, or how many per country, do all of that. Anything else in that contract that talks about Oracle validating your certified numbers happens after you certify, after you give Oracle that letter of certification. Number 9, you've certified. Now what do? Well, you have to protect your certification. Remember what I said at the very beginning of this video. Oracle has no interest in you certifying. As a matter of fact, when you certify, you don't give Oracle more money. So they want you to renew. So they're going to do what they can to cast doubt on your certified numbers. And if you certify to 1,000 and they can find some non-compliance, they'll use that against you. If they can't find any non-compliance, they're going to try to get that 1,000 down as much as possible to reduce the size of your certification. Again, you're trying to increase the certification, they're trying to reduce it or eliminate it. So protect your certification. And finally, number 10, after you've protected your certification, you've given it to Oracle, you've got sign-off from them, now it's time to manage your new environment. You've been used to the last few years managing with an unlimited number of licenses, and now you've got to go and manage into a limited number, a specific number of licenses. And that's very different. So you need to make sure that you're following all the steps to communicate to your DBAs and the rest of your teams exactly what your license grant is from Oracle. So there's a whole methodology around managing your licenses outside of an unlimited license agreement versus in an unlimited license agreement. So go manage and optimize them and stay in compliance. Now I hope this video has helped you with our 10 best practices on how to certify your ULA. Again, Palisade Compliance has put together that list based on our hundreds of clients of experience and both our time at Oracle and now our time working for clients here at Palisade. So like I've mentioned, we have lots of other videos on ULAs and license management and how to deal with Oracle. Feel free to peruse those. If you ever need help, and we highly recommend that you get help anytime you're in a ULA, please reach out to us directly at info@palisadecompliance.com, and we'd love to have a conversation with you about where you are with your Oracle licensing and your ULA. Thank you everyone for your time today, and good luck with Oracle.